Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out True Off My Chest. Story 1. My friend is really weird and it's hard to be around them. I, 19F, known this friend, 21M, for years, but recently it's been worse. I physically cringe at his behavior in public or when we're around other people. Like today, for example, he proceeds to talk about sensitive or controversial topic in public very loudly, to the point where I tell him to stop talking about the subject, and we've gotten looks from people because of his. Story 2. Despite being surrounded by emotionally distraught mothers, I didn't feel sad or upset at all when my kids went off to kindergarten. Granted, it did feel like the end of an era, but I was in no way sad about it, and I wasn't happy, either. I guess I was just indifferent to it and just accepted it for what it was, a transition. It always felt awkward being comforted by anyone because I was not upset, but I felt like I had to pretend a little or people would assume that I'm a heartless mother. Story 3. Insecure about my DCK size. My john is 5 inches and not girthy at all. Can barely fit a 53mm condom size. I have a GF and she's been only one person with bigger before me, 7 inches, she told me before when we were very close friends. We talked about everything. She says she doesn't care about my size, and she's more emotionally connected with me. But I am still insecure. She's been with bigger, and sad truth, she probably don't even feel mine at all. I wanna please her more than myself, but I don't think my shit is even enough. I don't even wanna have sex because I am embarrassed. I just wish my shit was bigger, and I'm finding it very hard to accept it. We only had sex once and I feel like she's uninterested in having sex again because we didn't do it after. She probably found it boring with me. PPL say it's the motion of the ocean, but with my size and girth, no, not workable at all. Anyways, for my small wiener kings out there, just know you're not alone, lol. Story 4. My husband has given up and I'm at my breaking point. My husband, 33M, and I, 30F, have recently fallen into hard times and it's been put entirely on me to figure out a solution. I feel like I am going crazy, I'm overwhelmed and deeply depressed, but I feel like I have no choice but to grin and bear it through this rough period, but my heart is screaming at me. Some background info: my husband has always struggled with depression but refuses to seek any form of help for it. He also has a temper. Both of which have gotten the worst I've ever seen, and some days I barely recognize him. I have truly done everything I can to try to help him. I love this man and don't want to lose him to this horrible darkness, but he has told me he's given up, and I see it through his actions, or really, lack thereof, every day. His anger has become so bad, I cannot ask for help or even start a conversation of any kind without some attitude or snappy response. When it's really bad, he has thrown and broken things, though he's never physically harmed our child nor I. It does concern me as I'm not sure what he is capable of in this state. And I don't want our child to grow up with a father that screams over every little thing as I did. Still in therapy working that out, I refuse to have our child experience it. It's been a cycle, as he also refuses to have constructive conversations. He just shuts down with a "yet I know I'm a POS. Yet I'm an a-hole," then disappears for an hour to return either as if nothing happened, or on rare occasions, calmly work through the issue and make changes. Those changes only last so long though, then we are back to square one again. I don't want to dismiss or discredit his mental state. He's told me numerous times he no longer wishes to be here, and I take that very seriously. But I am also at my limit. I am home 24/7 doing all of the housework, working 2 jobs, taking care of our child, doing all the cooking and making all of the calls/paperwork to get ourselves back on our feet. I have no time to breathe while he gets to get out the house for work, take the long drive home to clear his head, play video games in bed, then sleep in before work. Every day. My heart hurts and I don't know what to do. I'm afraid I myself may snap one of these days and let all the hurt out in words I can't take back. But I'm afraid if I actually try to start a healthy conversation, he'll shut me out like always, or it will turn into an argument, or worse, he will lose all will to go on, and I do not want to make anything harder for him like that. I love this man and just want him to keep fighting for our family. I want to get through this as a team. I want help. I want him to care. I'm just so tired and need to get some of this off my chest. We're better than here, right? I don't know where to go from here, but I know this is the boiling point. I can't live like this. I won't let our child grow up like this. TLDR, my husband is depressed and doesn't want to exist anymore, so he has stopped trying or helping with anything and everything, plus takes his anger out on our child and I don't know what to do anymore. Editing to add, I see majority suggesting an involuntary stay at a mental health facility. I have looked into this earlier, as I do agree that would be the best option for him. However, he does not have health insurance, our child and I do, but he has refused any insurance for himself because he doesn't want any more taken out of his paychecks, and we cannot afford anything out of pocket. It would also have to be a ride from a friend or an ambulance, as we only have one vehicle that I cannot drive, manual, never learned, though I want to. My husband has just been too tired or we've been too busy, so I cannot take him myself, sadly. Our hard time is unfortunately largely financial. He is of the mindset that men are the breadwinners and providers, which is part of our struggle. He thinks he's a failure. I do not believe in that outdated mindset, but no matter what I say, he is stuck on that. I picked up the second job to bring in more money. We've sold everything of value just short of our home. I sold my vehicle and split the cash with him to catch up on bills, and he used half of the money instead to buy unnecessary items. He did put some toward bills, so I looked past the items because I get it. Fun items feel good even if it's temporary, and I am not perfect. I've purchased things at times I didn't need to. I also see a lot of people say I am enabling or coddling him. That is a hard pill to swallow, but I appreciate the honesty. However, I will just include I too have depression and anxiety, which I am medicated for and see a therapist. Again, I am not perfect. But I know how much these things can help. I can truly empathize with his mindset and just want him to get better, to want to get better. I cannot agree or disagree with the abuse or manipulation. Story 5. Missed a grade-shattering assignment due to pneumonia and unfortunate events. Long, sorry. I've been out for 2 weeks with pneumonia and I messed up. In the beginning of my illness, I checked the due date for my assignments for my online class and marked it down for November 8th. I just now realized that my assignments were due Friday, November 3rd. If I was delirious BC of my fever, but I mistook a 3 for an 8. Now, my professor is ruthless. She offers no excuses. And the grading for the assignments is brutal. One assignment is a writing assignment, which is 50% of your grade, and a discussion post, which is also 50%. Since I failed to do either, my grade in the class went from an A to an F. There's only 4 assignments for this class, meaning that the highest grade that I can get now is AC. I wanna cry so badly. According to my professor, we should have no excuses since we have weeks to do this, but I've had a series of very unfortunate events that happened between my first assignment October 13th and my second assignment November 3rd. 1. Got norovirus a day after the first assignment and then was out sick for 4 days, ended up missing my other class. 2. My birthday was on October 20th and I rushed my mom to the hospital at 2 a.m. on that Friday because she had stroke symptoms. I was with my mom all day at the hospital on Friday and definitely didn't want to celebrate my actual birthday when I was so worried about her. 3. Then, my results for my brain MRI came back also on Friday and I found out that I have an inoperable cyst in my brain, which is what is causing all my neurological issues. 4. I celebrated my birthday that Saturday, October 21st. Then, I developed an illness by Sunday, October 22nd, which within 4 days turned into bronchitis, which then quickly turned into pneumonia. And since then I lost my voice, had non-stop violent coughing, slept 15 HRS a day and was incredibly drugged up on steroids and antibiotics. I would love to explain all this to her, but I think she would think I was lying. I just get sick a lot and I don't know why. Had COVID 4 times already. Viruses/bacteria love my body and it's take me quite a bit longer than anyone in my family to heal from them. And I'm also just incredibly unlucky. this was my first birthday in 3 years where I wasn't sick or in the hospital. Unfortunately, I think my bad luck was temporarily given to my mom instead. Should I even try to explain this to my professor? My doctor is gonna give me a note for my other class, so maybe I could send it to this professor with an email and hopefully she would understand. But, this feels like wishful thinking. Story 6. My GF broke up with me. I, 20F, and my GF, 19F, broke up today and I am broken. I didn't want to. We've been dating for a year and 4 months and moved in together 2 months ago. I know it sounds young, but I was gonna get an apartment anyways for college and my GF wanted to move out, so we decided to move in together. We never fought ever. We are perfect together. Today she said she thought she wasn't ready to live alone, but then said wanted to not be together. I tried begging. She say it not me. She said she loves me but never was in love but tried. I understand her mental health issues. I can't change how she feels. I just feel like I failed. I just had to quit my job and felt like a failure. Now I feel like a bigger one. BC I couldn't keep her mine. We have a cat together too. She was the first girl I ever liked and dated. Before it was all men and I didn't care about them. Now I'm in shambles from breaking up. I don't even want to exist anymore. Everything was perfect. Story 7. 9,125 days and not one of them has ended well. Feel like it'd be moronic for me to think the next 18,250 would be any different. Story 8. I just found out that my daughter has believed her entire life that the chicken crossed the road to get to the other side meant it killed itself to pass on to the other side. Story 9. Our first investor. We haven't told any family or friends that we have started a business and we have our first investor. I could cry. I want to tell people, but we have decided not to tell anyone until it's a success, hence telling you lovely strangers. Story 10. I've been avoiding going to school. Ever since last year it's just become so much of the same thing. This is my senior year and of course I want to get it over with, but it's genuinely a challenge to get out of bed to attend school most days. I have no problems there either. I have friends and all my teachers and classmates are cool, but I dread having to go there every weekday. I have guitar class in the morning and that's literally the only thing that interests me even a little. Every other one of my classes are just things I don't need to know or things I already do know. School started up 2 weeks ago and so far I've missed 6 out of 11 days. My mom thinks I've only missed 1 or 2 and she doesn't have a problem with it as long as I'm doing the work, which I am. I just don't want her to find out and hate me for it. I don't know what's wrong with me honestly. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.